Hi everybody, this is the website boy from the websiteboy.com. And before we continue with more tutorials, I want to talk to you about data types in the C programming language. All programs must use data made up of numbers, words, of characters. Then the program processes that data into a meaningful information, right? And there are many different types of data in the C programming languages or any other programming languages. The most common data types, all right, are characters, which are strings, integers, and floating numbers. And I'm going to show you right now. Let's just open up, let's create a new project, and I'm just going to name it, let's go to C. I'm just going to name it project X. Let's do that. Let's see how that works out. And finish, right? I'm going to go to it. I just want you to get used to making new projects. That way you can, I'm going to double click it. That way you can know what's going on. So now if we go ahead and build and run this program, we can see that we get a hello world right here, right? Now I want to talk to you about, let me just click enter here and exit. I want to talk to you about uh, we don't need to be clicking this build and run all the time. We can just use this little build and run at the same time, and this would build it and run it for us at the same time. All right, I forgot to tell you that. I got so used to it, and the reason why I got so used to doing it this way is because I like to see the errors when I'm making a program. I like to build it and see the error log right here, and if everything is fine, then I run it. I don't like to do it at the same time. But anyways, so now, like I said before, we have different data types, and the first ones are, let me just tell you right now, are character or strings, or well, characters are represented in many different ways. Let's say, for example, we have a capital A, that's a character. Lowercase a is another character. A number is a character. Anything that you can write with your keyboard mostly is a character for the C programming languages or for any language out there. Even an equal symbol, even square bracket, curly bracket, even a space on your keyboard is considered a character. So if I go like this, I have like 10 characters in there already, right? That is considered a character. And another thing is considered another data type is are called integers. Integers. And integers could be 4, 5, any number that is whole, any whole number could be an integer. And then the other data type, these are the most famous ones, all right? The other data type is called floating numbers. And these are 4.5, point 4 point whatever. My mind and my hands do different things. And you're gonna see some numbers that sometimes go like this. And they have a whole bunch of places, decimal places, right? And they do require more memory in the C programming language. So if you can get away by using whole numbers or integers, use integers instead of floating numbers. All right. And another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that all C characters, all the data, all right, that we print out to the screen or we use in C or any programming languages mostly are enclosed in apostrophe characters mostly. So all character data are enclosed in apostrophes or double quotes or quotations, whatever you want to call it. So people have different name for it. So this is a string. Hello world is a string. So if we want to print out a number, we cannot enclose it in apostrophes. We have to take the apostrophes out and print out the number the way it is without apostrophe. And this way C knows that this is a number. All right. When you enclose it with quotes, apostrophes, then you're telling C that this is a string. This is a string that has different characters in there. And these are all considered characters, consider strings in there. All right. So that's one way of doing that. Another thing why you might want to make sure you specify the type is that you want, if you want to do calculations, you might want to specify that these are numbers. That way you can do calculations in there. All right, but later on we'll talk about that. So let's just take this off. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that sometimes we have characters, pairs of characters that do different things. Like for example, this forward slash n creates a new line for the next function. So let's say I have another function here saying that hello world 2, right? If I print this out, let me just take this off, save it, and use my new build and run button, fancy one, right? And if I save it and if I build it in, you can see that it printed out on the second line. But if I don't have this n right in front of it, and I save it and I do the build and run, you can see that both of them are joined in the same line. So that forward slash that he had before produces a new line on it. All right. So sometimes a pair of two characters together will make things like this happen. Right. So keep that in mind. Right. So I just wanted to go over those. And another thing, just make sure that you click enter and exit this out of this windows, because they stack up just like it happened to me. So make sure you click exit on your command prompt or your terminal and then close it. So I wanted just to go over these data types here because we're going to be using data types later on, and I wanted you to know what they are and how you can work with them and how C works with them. Later on, we're going to find out how C does other things with it. So anyways, I hope you were able to learn something new in this tutorial, and I hope you favorite my video. You tweet it, you put it on Facebook, or share it if it was helpful to you. That's how you can appreciate what I do. Um, to me, that's how you can say thank you. But anyways, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.